Let's ask the cards what they want to talk about today. Cards today want to talk about changing times. This could be generations, civilizations, but it could also be timelines here as well. So let's talk about, I want to talk about timelines. Given that the last card said I had a temporal headache to do with timelines, I want to know more about timelines. What are they? Do we really change timelines? Are they moving and fluctuating depending on energy and vibration? So what are they exactly? So let's ask those questions. Okay. Very thankful and grateful for all information that comes through with these readings. Please bring through all truthful information for knowledge and growth here. Please help us learn through your wisdom and your guidance. And I'm very grateful for all information that's received. Today I would like to talk about timelines. Could you give me more information on what timelines are and how we are affected by them? Now they're telling me occurring at the same time. Okay, we're seeing an eternal cycle. We're talking about reincarnation, eternal cycle. Now I feel it's happening at the same time as what they were telling me. Here, a new world, new beginning. So an emergence of a new timeline. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, are we shifting timelines? Are we currently shifting timelines? Release from contract. Quiet your mind. Okay, cloak of forgetfulness, forgetting. So we're forgetting something here. Now let me just tap in here because it's asking me to seek more understanding and quiet my mind as I tap in here. Now, freedom's embrace, release from a contract. The contract, is that part of the timeline that we're on? Are we held here? Are we held here under contract on a particular timeline? Okay, it is saying believe it as, if you believe it as truth. If you believe that you're stuck in this timeline, then that is your truth. It's what it's saying. It's saying because in reality you actually have empowered choice. You have free will. You can move. The atmospheric influence is how you are affected by whatever's taking place on that timeline affects you. But that's only because you believe it to be true. If you believe that to be your reality, your existence, the way that it is now, in actual fact, you have empowered choice, you have free will. Can we individually change timelines as an individual? It's part of your spiritual growth and it's part of your spiritual growth and evolution, and it's the way forward. Is it moving timelines about progressing, kind of leveling up? Okay, there is an element of authority over timelines. There is somebody in charge of timelines. Maybe a bit of a toxic veil that prevents us from moving freely through timelines. But is it possible to do that? Is it possible to change timelines? You can time to take, look at this card here. It says stellar gateways, time to take a leap forward. Telepathic harmony, words unsaid, but I feel this is the answer to the question. It is possible to change timelines. I've got the word time there through stellar gateways, making a leap forward. Again, you said the forward, way forward. How does that, the way forward, relate to timelines? Elevating energy, harnessing power, elevating, moving forward, moving up, elevating. Important message here, learn and listen. What is the important message that you want to bring through? It's covert, it's undercover, it's hidden, information that is hidden. A keeper of destiny, Akashic records, information that's kept hidden from us. Are we able to access this information? Temporal nexus, again, here, temporal present timeline. Temporal nexus indicates time, timelines, and this is the present timeline. Okay, tell me about the present timeline. Okay, here it says liberty, the rebels' liberty, breaking the change. So it feels like we're kind of maybe tied to this. How are we tied to the current timeline? How are we tied to the current timeline? We don't see it for what it really is. This simulation awareness, reality weaver. Again, we're not seeing reality for what it is. That's why we're contracted to it or tied to it. Simulation awareness. Very interesting. Are we able to adjust the timeline individually? That was a big one. Okay, new and naive. Balance and fairness. So it's a cosmic law. There's a bit of balance that goes on with that. So I guess if one thing changes, it changes something else. So balance has to go there. It can destroy something. It can be destructive. It can be destructive if we go in and everybody goes in and starts messing with timelines. That can be very destructive because it maybe will imbalance other timelines. Interesting. I love these weird readings. What else can you teach us about timelines? About transcending timelines. How do we transcend the current timeline? A pillar of support, help and assistance. We need to engage help and assistance to do that. It's the seeds of creation. Can humanity as a whole change timelines? Can we all experience a shift together? That's done through eternal psychic and the eternal cycle. We do all experience the reincarnation cycle. We do all experience that as a whole together. We move through different timelines. Is the time, no was on the bottom, by the way, with that one there. Timelines, reincarnation. Can we go back and forth? Can we go back and forth when we reincarnate? Okay, that's that one here. New and naive, Mercury, listen carefully. Cosmic gears, the great reset. Okay, windows to the soul, it's your purpose and truth. Okay, I'm asking, are you able to go backwards? It's not answering me that question. The gears, though, does remind me of the control room and the levers. Is time linear? Is time linear? Okay, it says there was a beginning, there is an ending, and other than that, it's all new and naive innocence. So I feel, is it linear? Well, beginning and end. There's an element of it that is a beginning and end, because we've got beginning, destruction, creation, destruction. We have beginning and end. It's an important message and I need to pay attention. What's the important message about the beginning and the end? Relating to time, relating to timelines. Time being linear. What's the important message here? Okay, asking me to listen. Shift and movement flow is what they're saying. When they're saying listen, they're saying shift, movement, flow. Covert, undercover. I also heard analytical thought. Okay, some things are beyond our comprehension, but we're bound by certain parts of it. It says bound by addictions or distractions or technology. Purity surrounds. Okay, let me try and tap into a clearer connection here. Again, they're saying an important message. Now, I was also thinking creation ending. There's something interesting in that, but I can't pinpoint what that means. And the card fill out again, beginning message. They're coming. An internal cycle. So it's a cycle. So a cycle has no beginning, it has no ending. I think that's what they're meaning. So when they showed me the beginning and the ending, an internal cycle has no beginning, it continues, it goes on. Saturn's discipline. I'm feeling rings of Saturn here, maybe connected to the... I'm going into a whole different reading here. I think they're taking me into the reincarnation cycle. So if there's just something, I will read on that again one day, but if there's something you want to tell me while you're heading in this direction, what do you want to tell me about the reincarnation cycle? Okay, it's asking me to seek guidance on that one. And the visionary mind, think bigger. Okay, what do you want to tell me about the reincarnation cycle? Remember who you are. The beginning of that, before that cycle, beginning before we went into that cycle. Again, we've got the Saturn there, the rings of Saturn. I feel connected to the cycle, reincarnation cycle. There were what was before the reincarnation cycle. Remember who you are. Tell me, please. What was before the reincarnation cycle? Spiritual connection. Our DNA was different. Thoughts were more aligned. Thoughts were more important. Thoughts became matter. Our thoughts created reality. We weren't in the containment, so it says uniquely Uranus, break free from the containment. So before the reincarnation cycle, we were not contained within the cycle. We were more of a spirit connection, a spirit channel. Our DNA was different. Okay, how does that all relate back to timelines? Okay, summarize and put it back together, please. It's part of the spiritual evolution and growth. There is a veil around us that is toxic. it comes back to balance. This is Venus empathy. It's about balance and love. Balance, love and harmony. But there is toxic within the cycle, the reincarnation cycle. It's part of our spiritual growth and evolution. Okay, what I'm getting at here is the reincarnation cycle. Is that on every timeline? Is the reincarnation cycle on every timeline? Okay, so we have this cloak of forgetfulness, mind manipulation, being asleep. But it is all vibrational and it's all about frequencies around us. I'm pulling back energy here as well, so I'm just summarizing what the cards say. Here is Thoth, the scribe or the architect, was in a recent meditation of mine, and it is all just cycles flowing with the tides. Divine connection, trusting the guidance, and expansion and growth. Okay, I'm not making sense of this spread because I've disconnected, but thank you so much for joining me. That was a really interesting topic. I'd love to delve deeper into that on another occasion. Thank you so much. I hope you find that interesting. Is there any questions you have about the timeline, about the reincarnation cycle? Because I want to go a little deeper into those topics. So let me know in the comments what you want me to ask, and I'll see you next time.